Cheers.
And good morning. It is 9:32, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Literacy Council, Larry Martin back with us. And also joining us here in studio, Stuart Dietz with American Red Cross here, I guess the local chapter. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. How you gentlemen doing today?
Great.
Good.
Doing good.
Well, you're thinking literacy, Red Cross. You know, I could see a connection, but generally two different organizations got two different agendas here, and but really it just so happens you guys are now sharing a space.
Right.
The Literacy Council and the Red Cross are calling the same building home here, so let's partner up and let's see if we can help each other out on some of this stuff. So I like it.
Yes, sir. That's what we're all about.
So I gotta tell you, we talk with Larry a lot here. We're pretty familiar with the Literacy Council, but talk about like your role with the Red Cross here locally and what some of the stuff they have you doing.
Okay. Well, I'm the new disaster program specialist here in our territory. I cover all of southeastern New Mexico. And Red Cross, we're here to assist people during disasters, home fires, floods, so forth like that. We are a volunteer-based organization, as most everybody knows, so we're always looking for volunteers. We're glad to be back in the Roswell area. We were here at one point before, and then we wound up leaving, but now we're back. We're trying to reestablish, and we're looking forward to working with community.
Good deal. Well, it's glad to see you're back in the area, and obviously, Southeast New Mexico has its fair share of incidences.
Yes, sir.
A lot of it weather-related, whether it's fires or flooding or runs the gamut here.
Yes, sir.
It's great to know that we have a local chapter that can mobilize if needed
Right.
to answer the call for, not a question of when, but, or if, but when that next fire happens or when we get 5 inches of rain in an hour or what happens
True.
time to time.
And we're not only on a large scale base with it, we also do individual home fires and incidents and so forth.
So
like
not even
that.
the mass community need when it's just a one house, one family.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
guys
sir.
roll into to take care of needs and help out wherever you
Oh
can.
yeah,
on
that, we definitely do a lot of that. Home fires, apartment fires, anything like that where anybody's displaced during the incident. That's what we're here for.
So like for right now, money's always a thing. You can always donate to Red Cross and it helps out. But locally here, is manpower just as needed for volunteers and things? Or?
Yes, we're definitely in need of volunteers. At this time, I only have one local volunteer here
Okay.
in Roswell area, so we're looking to gather as many as we can.
Okay.
We've always got something to do. There's some short trainings that they have to complete. We work with them on that, get them set up and ready to go. We're looking for responders because, as you know, when it comes to disaster, it's a 24/7 operation.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
It's everything from treating medically into things to manual labor of clearing out debris and somewhere in between there. It runs
yes.
the gamut from whatever's needed depending on whatever disaster is happening at that particular moment. So need some people that are just good at and want to have the time and are able to do that kind of labor and things from time to time when needed.
Oh, yes.
We'd love to have a list of people that are kind of on alert or on call, ready to help out when those needs arise.
Right, and we're going to wind up doing an open house on August the 10th.
Okay.
From 10 to 2. They're at the Literacy Council.
Okay.
So we'd like anybody and everybody that's interested in getting to know us as the organization here, if they're interested in volunteering, whatever, come on down. Meet us and we'll kind of go over things with you and we'll help get you started.
Nice. Well, I imagine since you guys are going to be there, I imagine it's an open house just for the Literacy Council too, as much as it is for the Red Cross.
Yes, sir.
So.
We want to help re-promote them just as well.
Yeah, because when we talked last month here with Larry, now that they've kind of emerged full out of the COVID pandemic and things now, where they're pretty much back to business as usual over at the Literacy Council, and that means that they're ready to bring more people back and not only volunteers to help work with people that are trying to become literate or English as a second language or get their high school GED equivalent or whatever they're trying to do. But we need people to step forward and say, hey, I need to help with my literacy needs again. A lot of it was helped online and things like that, but you lost all the walking in on the door, just coming in saying, hey, I need help, that kind of stuff. So you guys are basically opening the doors back up, saying we're here. If you need our help, we're ready to help you. Come on through the doors and come. Let's get you into a better place here with your reading and with your life skills, really. So.
Right, and they've got an excellent program going down there. So
absolutely. So what's the update right now, Larry, as far as the need for volunteers and stuff? How are we doing there?
We still will be tutoring, I believe, with the Youth Challenge this
excellent.
fall.
Which they're kind of opening it, blossoming back open again as well out of COVID.
They're starting back up, so that's not firm yet.
They have a couple. It's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation, as many are in the COVID world right now. But they went from pretty much isolate, shut down to now back to doing what they normally do. So and of course you guys, the Literacy Council was involved in that before pandemic too, working with
we've been doing that for years
with Job Corps and those folks and helping all those people. So it's great.
As I remember or mentioned before, we're still pushing the Knowledge Bowl in October.
Excellent. So that'll be looking for that in the fall here.
Yeah.
So if you have a team of people that are, well, let's face it, know-it-alls.
Or 1 out of 5 knows something.
Right. Or you have a know-it-all in your categories. Like if you got a know-it-all sports person, or a know-it-all pop culture person, or a know-it-all TV and film person, and a know-it-all, I don't know, maybe history or music person. Mm-hmm. You're pretty well-rounded there, and between the 5 of you, you can.
That's right. The winning teams in the past have had basically 5 specialists in certain areas, like a youth, and an old guy, and a female, or someone who's familiar with music.
Sure, everyone an expertise in their area of knowledge.
And if everyone knows the same thing, you're in trouble because you won't know all the other stuff.
Well, and then you also have the teamwork element because, who's ringing in, who's gonna, who's in charge of all that. Is it the person that knows? If there's a designated ringer, there's a lapse in communication between the bell person and the talking person, which could cost you points. There's a whole strategy there. So, but if you love that kind of stuff, we'll tell you more as we get closer to October. But the Knowledge Bowl's coming back with the Literacy Council. Took a year or 2 off here because of COVID, but we'll be back here this fall. So, and we'll talk more about it and get people signed up. Yeah. But it is a lot of fun, and it's probably your biggest fundraising event for the Literacy Council, isn't it?
Yes, mostly our funds are paid through grants.
Yeah,
but with United Way is our big clients.
Well, and this money's free to do what you want with it. Unlike the grant money or United Way money, that's a lot of times those come earmarked specific for a certain thing, and you can't use it for other things. But you still got a light bill to pay. You still got paper cups you need and napkin. You need to, and so this kind of money, which doesn't have an earmark for anything other than the needs of the Literacy Council, that it can be used wherever it's needed, kind of thing. So, which is a good thing.
Well, we had basically 2 or 3 rooms we weren't using, so that's why we recruited the Red Cross.
Good deal.
They pay us a stipend, and they have a nice central location.
Excellent.
To work out of. So
good deal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're very happy with it, too.
So I'm kind of curious, and this is just gee whiz, I want to know, when the Red Cross isn't doing what we all know it to do, what's the day-to-day like? I'm kind of curious. I mean, is it literally sitting around waiting for a disaster, or is it all preparing and training for the next thing?
It's mostly preparing and training. Honestly, we really don't have a whole lot of downtown. Of course, we do have some, but until we get our volunteer base built up, we're always on the go with it. And we're not only looking here in Roswell, we're looking out through the whole entire New Mexico in general.
Sure.
So there's volunteers needed throughout every county in New Mexico.
And I imagine for some cases, they're probably going to end up being the coordinator for that area if something does go down in that region.
Yes, sir. That's how it's kind of broken down right now. There's 4 of us in the state. We have a Donna Richmond that's over southern New Mexico. We have a Dwayne Merritt that's over northeastern New Mexico. And then we have Mark Gordon, which is over northwestern New Mexico. And then myself, I'm over the southeastern New Mexico.
Okay.
So anybody that wants to volunteer, we welcome you aboard. Please reach out to the Red Cross, and they can put you in contact with one of us. We'll gladly take anybody and everybody we can get, train you up. We've always got something to do. Even if it's not responding to a disaster, there's things we can do.
There's
And
so many moving parts, and every single one of them is needed, and that's why volunteering. And that's the other thing too. Anybody can volunteer, even if you're not, the physically stout, strong one that can go cutting down trees and what have you in the field. We still need those people to make phone calls, organize, events to get to the logistics side, making sure water gets from point A to point B, or whatever is needed gets from point. That a lot of that's just logistics and calling and overseeing it. So
yes, sir. There's a need in every aspect you can imagine.
Yeah. So even if you're like, well, I can't be up in the woods, putting out fires or trying to do the physical side,
right.
No problem. We can use people to help making, even if it's the person that's calling to check in on everybody and being that liaison there or something like that. There's so many different facets that help the organization do what it does.
Oh, yes,
that
sir.
Everybody's vital and needed there. So just because you aren't physically able to do some of that stuff doesn't mean you're not desperately needed and useful to the cause here. So just want to put that out there just to let folks know.
Thank you.
And the same is true with the Literacy Council. You don't need to be a Rhodes Scholar to volunteer to be at the Literacy Council. If you can read proficiently, they'll train you the rest. They'll get the materials, all of that stuff. Your staff works with all of those folks to kind of help them, because let's face it, we all don't have teaching degrees and, come out walking in and educating and all this stuff. Just because we can do it doesn't mean we can teach it all the time. And so that's where if you have the desire to do it, let Larry and his staff help you get the skill set needed to be able to work with the adults, children, everybody that comes through the doors of the Literacy Council. So,
right.
good deal. But we do want to mark as far as events. Open house August 10th at the Literacy Council / Red Cross here in Roswell.
That's on West 10th Street.
Yes,
609 West 10th.
Just off Missouri.
That's I know where it's at. I never remember
We have a
addresses.
big sign out there. You get close, you'll see it.
Yeah, and so come on in, and if you need help, you want to learn to read, or you're looking to get your high school equivalency, or English as a second language, or citizenship, or any of these things, the Literacy Council helps there. And of course, I don't think you get a lot of people walking in saying, "Hey, I need help," from the Red Cross. Generally, it's called through emergency channels and things.
Correct.
But if you want to learn more about becoming a volunteer, or donations, or how to set up that kind of thing, or maybe you're an organization, a community service organization that would like to partner with the Red Cross on helping out at events and things.
Well, we're always looking for that too, because one of our goals here in Roswell is to, and the surrounding areas, is to make them as safe as possible. We want to start doing some smoke alarm events where we'll go out and install smoke alarms throughout the community and so forth like that. So that's another reason we need a good volunteer base so we can set that up.
Yeah. That way, when those unpredictable events happen, the Red Cross can focus on getting you new clothes and stuff and not looking for family members because there wasn't smoke detectors and alerting people of a fire.
Yes, sir.
And unfortunately, we lose so many people by little things like that.
That we do.
Someone forgot to change batteries in a smoke detector, or there wasn't one installed, or someone didn't, check the radon thing here. I mean, unfortunately, that's an everyday occurrence in this country. Somebody loses a life to stuff like this. So yes, it's important to do these kind of things. So.
It's real easy to forget the smoke detector.
It is, especially this day and age where a lot of them are wired to the house now. You know what I mean? Where they're on 24/7 because they're wired to the house, but they have a battery backup, so you don't think of it until it starts chirping at you. That is not the time to change the battery. It's before it's chirping, by the way. Yeah. I think the message they always tell us is when the clocks change, you change your batteries. That's kind of a good rule of thumb. I don't know if that's still the case.
Yeah, but it's a couple of bucks. It's hardly worth my effort to, we used to rent houses. My dad rented houses.
Okay.
And invariably, we'd go in the house and check and things be chirping. And what? Come on. Afford $3 for a battery.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then, and the ones on the system, they all chirp, even the ones that are good. So you almost have to change them all because you're like, I change it. And then you hear a chirp. Oh, it's the one in there now. And it's a whole charade. But
true.
But either way, please do it because, when those events do happen in life, we can always replace the property. We can always replace the goods. We can't replace the people. And that smoke detector preserves people. So Be on top of that.
Correct.
But definitely, if you want to help and volunteer and even organize in some of these events and things, but that the Red Cross is looking to set up here in our region here pretty soon, like I said, the sky's the limit on that kind of stuff. Fire seatbelt checks or the kid seats, a lot of those kind of events that'll probably be on the horizon here.
Yes, sir.
So definitely,
we plan on making numerous events throughout.
Yeah, and then when the need arises, it seems like every couple of years we've got one of those events here in southeast New Mexico where you have to rally the troops and head to the hills for a fire or, a flooding here in Roswell or something like that. It seems like every couple of years we get one of these. So.
Right. Well, we don't want to wish it on nobody by no means, but, if anybody ever runs across any type of incident, whether it's personal home fire or, of course, wildfire, so forth like that, all they've got to do is call in to our dispatch number, which is 1-800-842-7349.
Okay.
They report the disaster, and then we respond based on that.
Gotcha.
And anybody that would like to volunteer, please come down to the Literacy Council, see us, catch me one-on-one down there.
Yeah.
We'll get you set up, or you can also reach out to me at 1-575-420-0001.
Excellent.
And
That's
I
easy
want
to
to
remember.
know how he got that number. I called it.
He was first in line, apparently.
Luck of the draw, I guess.
Sound like he camped out early for that number. He was there at a
Right.
rock concert in a tent waiting for that number. But and of course, if you want to learn more about the Literacy Council, whether you need the services, if your reading skills are behind and you're finding it's hampering the world you live in right now, or if you want to. You for whatever reason life threw at you, you didn't get a chance to complete that high school diploma, or if you're learning to English as a second language or any of these kind of things, please reach out to the Literacy Council. There are people to help. And then likewise, if you love helping others do these kind of things, the Literacy Council love to have you, because the more people that do that, the less work everybody. Because right now, the volunteers probably have to work a little bit longer hours to cover all the bases there. But you get enough volunteers, and next thing you know, everyone works a couple hours a week, and it's, they do their little couple hours, and someone else takes over. And I'm sure Larry would love to be at that point where there's so many people that you got to make a full, tight schedule just to get everybody.
Also, we would like to make sure that people who need the help, reading or whatever,
there's someone there to help them.
We can help.
Yeah.
So come on down.
Absolutely.
What I found is that Roswell is an excellent town for volunteers. We have like 6 or 7 service clubs who would support the Red Cross, I'm sure, once he gets going.
Good deal.
And I'm with RSVP, which is really a senior organization.
I was about to turn that real quick there after this to give us an update on the RSVP stuff.
And
too.
all these organizations, I know these service clubs are always looking for new members. So, if you're sitting around your house, picking your nose, trying to figure out what you're going to do, volunteer with one of these. Go down to one of the meetings. They're in the paper.
Absolutely.
Talk to the Chamber of Commerce. They'll tell you.
I always tell people, I was like, I don't care what your passion is, but find that passion and support it. Whether it's kids and sports, great. Go be a coach. Go do that. Whether it's literacy stuff, go help the Literacy Council or volunteer at the library, do various things. Or maybe homeless is your passion. Go help the Homeless Coalition and Harvest Ministries and things like that. Or maybe it's emergency preparedness stuff. Help the Red Cross or the Roswell Chaves County Communities of Disaster Relief. There's organizations in this community that do great things.
Excellent. You bet.
Just pick your passion and do that. You don't have to do them all. Just find your one. Maybe you're a history buff. Go volunteer at the Historical Society, or maybe you want to see business growth and things like that happen. Go volunteer at the Chamber. They would love to have volunteers help out there. But find that passion, and if your passion's helping people or literacy, then we got 2 right here that could use your signups and your attention.
And volunteers is what counts in everything. Volunteers is what strengthens our communities.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're waiting on the government to tell you what to do, you're going to be waiting a while. Just roll up your sleeves and do your thing. But that's another conversation for another.
Yeah, we'll wait on that one.
Let's give out the phone numbers one more time. Stuart, anything related to Red Cross here, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Okay. Anything disaster related, call 1-800-842-7349. Anything locally and volunteer based and just wanting to get to know us, 575-420-0001, or come on down to the Literacy Council and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, come down and have a chat and, and talk, and we'll see what comes up next. See what kind of trouble we get into here. So, and then, of course, for the Literacy Council, if anybody has any questions, want more information, what's the best number to call there?
Okay, 575-840-4628.
Very good. Call that number, and like I said, or Stuart mentioned, just come by the office there.
We're not open every day, all day.
Gotcha.
But, pretty much all week from noon to 4 or 5.
And it probably works out, because now with two of you guys in the building, when one's not there, maybe the other one is, and they can get messages back and forth.
Yes, sir.
And things
We
like
try
that.
to be there a couple of days a week. We're in and out. But if we're not there, you can always just reach out to me, and I'll make it a point to meet you there.
We'll
schedule something.
Come hell or high water, we'll get that conversation happening.
Yes, sir.
Here. So, and real quick, while we got you, any updates from RSVP, or just anything we want to get on people's radar about that?
I didn't get hold of Sean, but he's always willing and ready to talk to people.
Okay, and a great organization if you want to get.
Basically retired volunteers, but I'm sure if you're young, he'll talk to you.
If you're wanting to help, I'm sure they'll be, they could probably use a few young backs to move stuff around out there. So, very good. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to get that we just didn't get a chance to talk about?
I'd like to expound a little on the Knowledge Bowl. Excuse me.
That's catchy.
In October, right now it's the 17th.
Okay.
The Cowboys are playing at night.
Oh, it's a night game, so you won't cut into the Cowboys.
No, and it's a Sunday afternoon. It's a fun event, and it's a fundraiser for the Literacy Council. $100 a team, 5 people, or 4 if you're smart and you think you want to do it by yourself. You're welcome. But essentially, it's 5 guys, ladies, kids, adults, whatever.
5 brains.
Yeah, and
sharing one space.
That's right. No, bodies are not required. Bring 5 brains. And it's fun. It's at the Joy Center. We got plenty of tables. We'd like to pack it, and we'd like to ask all the high schools to send a team. We're daring them to.
Oh yeah.
Last year, the Youth Challenge had a high school team, and they won.
I've had so many teenagers tell me they know everything. Well, all right. Let's put money let's put where the rubber meets the road, and let's see what happens.
I talked to all the big churches last year, hoping one of their Sunday schools, but none of them responded. So I was kind of disappointed.
Well,
but I would like to promote it enough this year that the city thinks it's an event, not just some guy over
Game on. Teachers, club, high school club organizers and stuff, start getting your teams together. These kids will be back to school in a couple weeks. First thing, not welcome back to school. Say, hey, how smart are you? Let's sign up for the Knowledge Bowl. But definitely get involved with it, and start getting your. I know my American Legion Post. They always we put a team together and do it and stuff. So
the Eagles
have a lot
Lions,
of fun.
Toma are almost always.
Yeah, and usually good snack foods and everything. It's just a good time. It's a little fun. It's like going over someone's house for game night, but it's a little bit bigger.
Sounds very interesting.
But October the 17th, Sunday afternoon.
Roughly 2 to 4.
More details to come as we get closer to the event here. So, very good. Well, thank you guys. Stay safe, stay cool, stay dry or wet, depending on what you're trying to get to at this point.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you next time or next month.
We appreciate the time.
Anytime, and we'll see you here next month. All right.
Okay, you bet.
All right. It is 9:56. Let's